There ain't no reason things are this way. It's how they always been and they intend to stay. I can't explain why we live this way. We do it every day. Preachers on the podium speaking of saints, prophets on the sidewalk begging for change, old ladies laughing from the fire escape, cursing my name. I got a basket full of lemons and they all taste the same. A window in a pigeon with a broken wing. You can spend your whole life working for something just to have it taken away. People walk around pushing back their debts, wearing paychecks like necklaces and bracelets, talking about nothing, not thinking about death. Every little heartbeat, every little breath. People walk a tightrope on a razor's edge, carrying their hurt and hatred and weapons. It could be a bomb or a bullet or a pen or a thought or a word or a sentence. There ain't no reason things are this way. It's how they always been and they intend to stay. I don't know why I say the things I say, but I say them anyway.
For the past 4 years, I've done well, and every year, God has shown me more about His love, just for me and for His children. And it's, I guess, the biggest thing is through these 4 years, I have been able to love more freely and have more patience and just accept who I am through Christ and just be myself. And that is something that I struggled with a lot going through middle school and trying to figure out my identity. And in coming to WOW, I figured out that my identity is solely in Christ and that His love is all that I'm ever going to need.
I guess it means all of the people that it's touched and all the people who are involved.
Just a way to connect and with other people that have faith and to volunteer and give back to the community. So.
Well, it's kind of like my foundation. Like, it's something I know that I can always bank on, you know?
It's a reminder that it's not all about us, and that, in fact, it's more about others and about God and about living to serve others. And it's definitely a reminder. It's a humbling reminder.
Whenever I go, well, one time I went to a place called Wesley House, which is a place we go to hang out with kids for a day, and they come from all over Knoxville for a day camp and do school and play on the playground, do activities, arts and crafts, just get to hang out for a day. And I went there once and I met this little girl who we sat down and had a really good heart-to-heart. She was having a really rough time because her dad left and her mom was really busy and she felt really alone. And it was such an experience and it was so inspiring that I could sit down and talk to this little girl. And at the end of the conversation, she told me that I was like heaven sent and that I was her best friend, and that just made me feel so good because one little conversation could change one girl's perspective about life and could help her deal with the grief that she's, having to deal with at a small age, and made me feel really good about myself.
I enjoyed going to God Be Love and singing. It was fun, and I got to meet elderly people.
It happens every year when I just have one of those days, and it happened this summer of 2012, and I literally spilled the entire dinner. I mean, I ruined everything, and I was covered in baked beans, the dessert was on the kitchen floor, and I just had a mental breakdown. I was bawling my eyes out, and Liza and Pastor Amy came in and they're like, Maddie, it's okay, we can have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for dinner if that's what we have to do. Do not worry about it.
Last year, I was on crew and I was serving at Carmagan in the kitchen, and there was a man there who I thought was another volunteer, and it turns out he had played soccer at a high school that was near mine, and I just remember that game was a whirl, and I remember this kid because he was so good, and So I assumed that he was planning college or something somewhere, and we got to talking about what we were doing these days, and I asked him if he was at UT or if he'd gone to play in school. And he looked at me just kind of with this dumbfounded look on his face, like, you didn't know the whole time? And he said, I've been on the street since I got out of high school. I'm actually in one of the programs here. And I just would have never thought. I mean, it's so amazing how all the people we serve are just, people like us.
The fact that they just let me totally leave my position when I'm the only one that is in the kitchen, there's like, just go take some time for yourself, was one of the greatest things that has ever happened, because sometimes you just need that, and they gave that to me. So
A couple years ago, we went to a Project Live site. And Project Live assigns places that have gotten like citations from the city and stuff, and they're the houses of people that can't take care, they can't physically are not able to take care of their own properties and things. So one day we went out to Miss Gentry's house. She was over on the other side of town, and she's, elderly lady, widow, and her house was, a little bit of a mess, but a big old tree had fallen on her house. And we went out there, and the thing was just leaning up against her house, and it was going to cause structural damage. She didn't have home insurance, and it was just a big mess. So we went out there, and over the course of 2 days, with a ladder and a handsaw, managed to get the bulk of this tree, which was still alive and big and heavy and hung over the length of her house, get this tree off branch by branch so that it wasn't a problem for her house anymore. And it was a lot of fun work, and we had a blast. But at the end of it all, Miss Gentry asked us to pray with her. And I, at first she was very, I asked if she wanted to pray too. And she was very adamant that, she didn't know how, didn't want to, that kind of thing. But then, in the moment, she went ahead and prayed, and she said the most beautiful prayer I have ever heard in my life, and that's always going to stick with me. And, I can't quote it, I don't remember it well enough, but I would just always remember just standing there weeping after she said it, because I knew that it was more than just us, it was more than just the work that we were doing. It meant something to her.
I am the cook at WOW, and I run the kitchen, and it is by far one of the best decisions I've ever made, is to agree to do this. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I absolutely love it, and it has showed me so much about God's love and His patience, because being in the kitchen, you have those days where the food just gets burnt and things don't work out and you're late, and it's crazy and chaotic, but the staff is so patient with me, and they're always showing me God's love, and she's like, Maddie, it's okay, don't worry about it, you got this. And so that is one of my favorite parts about WOW, is just how you see every kid somehow be transformed through this 1 week at WOW. And it literally will just blow your mind how that happens, because it's totally a God thing. It's not something that the staff can do, it's not something that the kids can do, it's God saying, let me work through you, and that is just mind-blowing to me.
I like becoming closer to God and making new friends while doing that.
My favorite part of WOW is just the people that we serve. I love working with different populations, and this year we worked with everything from Iraqi refugees to our homeless neighbors to elderly people to kids in a daycare. I love just working with all the different people.
It's a great way to really get to know your community, make lasting relationships, and really draw close with God.
One, two, three, go!
And I forget my name, remind me who I am. In the mirror all I see is who I don't wanna be. Remind me who I am. In the loneliest places, when I can't remember what grace is. Tell me once again who I am to you, who I am to you. Tell me that I belong to you. To you.
Yeah, for sure. Next year, I definitely want to.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And it was fun. And it was awesome.
Well, it's definitely an experience. I mean, if you're on the line about it, you should definitely come.
It's been amazing. It's a very nice experience.
Oh, that helped me tremendously because we work on donations. So sometimes we get truckloads of stuff and work on and feeding 200, 300 people. The preparation of getting together, they come in and do my cutting for me, so they help me prep for what I'm gonna serve for dinner. So it's a tremendous help, and I give all the glory to God.
It's been awesome.
Oh, it's amazing. It's like the best experience of my life so far.
Because, well, I mean, you get a sense of fulfillment from WOW that you don't get from a lot of other things, because you're actually you're making a direct difference for a lot of people and helping out.
A lot of times, at least when I first started, I was on the edge of doing it. But let me tell you, you do not want to miss this opportunity, because it is something that God is the center of, and that will completely change your life forever. And I would hate for someone to miss this.
I think that WOW changes lives.
Love will come, set me free.
WOW means family.
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 The crew and the staff and the kids are my family. I mean, if I'm ever having a bad day, I can call them, I can text them, and just tell them what's going on, and they're going to be there for me. And I mean, I have friends coming up from Georgia and from, Chattanooga, Tennessee, that come just to see me on a regular basis. And that is something that means family to me. When they care, so much about me to take time out of their day, I mean, that's what matters.
There ain't no reason things are this way. It's how they always been and they intend to stay. I can't explain why we live this way. We do it every day. Like a stone, and I'm running far from home. Remind me who I am. When I can't receive your love, afraid I'll never be enough. Remind me who I am. I can't explain why we live this way. We do it every day.